Eli, what's up, dude? Happy
What's going
Tuesday, man.
on? Yes, sir. Happy Tuesday, guys. How we
Hey,
doing?
happy Tuesday. So you know it's happy Tuesday because one time he called it Thursday, and I'll never let it go. But listen, more importantly, it's your birthday. Eli, you are
Hey,
40 years old today. You don't want me saying it on here. It's out of the gate. I'm 41. I've been calling you a good kid for a long time, for about a
that's right.
year. But now that you're 40, now you're a good man.
I appreciate that, man. Thank you.
Yeah, but hey, man, happy birthday. We've had a great day filming some content today on Parker and Looking Glass and some other stuff. So
Yeah,
if you guys are looking forward to our next video coming up this Saturday, you're going to have a lot of fun with it. But more importantly, on this live tonight, this has been some of the most fun we've had just with our channel and with our channel in general. We've had some great engagements. We think you guys enjoy it. We definitely enjoy doing it for you guys. We're going to dive right in. We're talking Denver Broncos Stadium. We're talking a slew of other stadiums, and we're also going to be talking about homeowners insurance as well, and that's been a hot topic, and we're going to cover some things that you're definitely going to know. So if you guys got some time, stick around and enjoy. It's going to be a lot of fun tonight.
that's right. That's right. So, man, I'll let you kick it off. And, man, I want you to kind of dive into our first topic, which is one person I'm most excited to talk about. That is the new Broncos Stadium. And then this is going to coincide, guys, with just the overarching theme of this entire live and really the whole purpose for this live Tuesday show that we're doing in general. But that is just that Denver has so many massive plans that are going to be coming up over the next 20, 30, 50 years. And this particular Tuesday Night Live is where we're going to be giving you guys all that information. So we're referencing new Denver developments, new fun things that are coming, and just good to know information about the state. But while we're talking about this, guys, we are monitoring the chat. So if you guys have any questions live in real time, go ahead and post those questions here. We can address those here along with you guys. So this is one of the reasons that we're here live is because we want to create more engagement and communication with you guys without necessarily you having to wait for us. So jump on these lives. You're gonna learn a ton about Colorado, and when you do come in here, let us know where you're from. We love seeing where our viewers are coming from.
And that's most fun. If you guys got questions, we've got a phone number that's going to be running up to the bottom of the screen periodically here as well, just to give you guys direct access to us, whether it's texting, calling, asking your questions, all real estate related. We'd love to help you. We've also got some relocation guides and some buyer guides will be coming out for you guys as well periodically throughout the show. But main thing tonight we're talking about out of the gate is going to be Denver Broncos Stadium. I always joke with Eli because he's not a huge sports fan. He's into jiu-jitsu and some other stuff. So not only is he turning 40 today, but his favorite topic tonight is football. It's unreal. Right. It's like this new best friend I have. I'm really excited for this version of Eli. But guys, just to give you context in case you don't know, the Denver Broncos is the home. We're the home of the Denver Broncos. That's our football team. We've got a great stadium so far, and to believe it or not, I didn't think it was that old to begin with. I feel like we just got it. Eli, maybe while I'm talking, you can look up how old it is. If not, no problem. But it's a great stadium. Now, I will say where it's at right now, where it's just off of Colfax, and I just passed Colfax. It's your Auraria campus exit, right? When you're exiting I-25. I'm not sure if you want to show that quite yet. We can kind of get to it, or if you want to navigate while I'm talking. The only hard part here, guys, is the parking. It's maxed. Not only is the parking lot at Mile High Stadium maxed out, but then you're going to be parking across the street where the Denver Nuggets play at Ball Arena. So when you're getting off of I-25 going to the stadium, that Auraria campus exit is literally home to, Metro State University, CU Denver exit. You've got Ball Arena exit, and then you've also got the Denver Broncos that are on that same exit. Now, the Broncos Stadium is on the west side of the highway versus the east side, but if we zoom in, everyone's getting off on this Auraria campus exit for Ball Arena, the Bronco Stadium. You've also got Eli, the convention center is right there.
The Owl Wolf is right there.
Yeah. It really gets congested, so a lot of folks are taking light rail, but just parking in general. Eli, I'm not sure if you can hover over or if we have an aerial view.
I do right here. So let me go.
Let's just zoom in just to go a little bit more. Put the stadium to the left, if you don't mind.
Boom, right
there. A little bit more. Yeah, so right here. So guys, what you can see here is you've got this exit that's in gray right now. All the highways are in yellow, but Eli can kind of run his cursor over the grays. This is where you're getting off for the football stadium. All those red rooftops, that's Metro State University. It's CU Denver. Just above the screen, you can barely see it. If you scroll down a little bit, Eli, you can see Ball Arena, Elitch Gardens. And then just to the east of Ball Arena, you've got the convention center. I mean, this gets congested
right here.
Thursday, Fridays, Saturdays, Sundays afternoon, but it's just like this is getting pretty congested. So one of the great benefits that Eli's going to cover tonight, guys, is the new stadium is going to be going just south of all of this, closer to, I think, the 6th Avenue exit. And then I'm pretty sure it's going to be on the east side of the highway. So you'll be able to see. So this is a great map right here. Thanks for bringing that up, Eli. As you guys can see, the Denver Broncos Stadium is currently up to your upper left on that map. Down to that lower right, that's for the stadium. And a lot of just really cool stuff is going to be built for entertainment. You're going to have plenty of parking and a lot of great things. So the first thing that stands out with this project is not only is it only about 5 or 6 years away from being 100% complete, which is amazing, but it's also just in a better spot where they can plan for and accommodate parking a lot better. Now, Eli's going to get into some of the details here in a couple of minutes as far as like what they're going to be building in and around it, what matters to you. But here's a couple things that stick out. Again, 2031 completion date. We're going to, from what I hear, and we can confirm it tonight if Eli's got some more details, but from what I'm hearing is they will be doing a retractable roof.
Yes.
So what does that mean? That definitely means that we can be on the docket as far as having a Super Bowl here in Colorado. But guys, more importantly, in the early spring when we're still getting inclement weather, in the winter and in the fall when we're getting inclement weather, we are one of those states that gets a lot of great concerts. Garth Brooks came here, did a 3-night tour, all sorts of stuff. But it's all kind of like isolated to Ball Arena, where the Avalanche and the Denver Nuggets play when you're looking at early spring, winter, and fall. It just kind of has to be because with unpredictable weather, they're just not really able to use Mile High Stadium, if that makes any sense. Now, with a retractable roof, it just opens up all sorts of things that we can do, again, early spring, winter, and fall in Colorado, because you've got this amazing brand new stadium that can also do things outside of just a Super Bowl when we've got inclement weather. Tag yourself and count how many times I said inclement weather. I have a free home warranty. Right, like I've been saying it a lot. But again, so the main things here are just the overall entertainment value, whether you're football fans or not. This is huge for all 4 seasons of utilizing a stadium like this. You're going to be increasing some housing and some entertainment around it. As you guys can see, it's in a better location down the highway, just allows for a lot better commute there and a lot more predictability with the parking. And we're literally just about 5 years away from having this finished.
Yeah. So thank you for the summary, Will. That is a great rundown of that. And as Will said, football is not my strong suit. But if there's one team I can get behind in Denver, it is the Broncos, right? So, and Broncos are such a staple of Colorado, right? And, the stadium right now, like Will said, is not bad, but its location is, very congested. It makes it hard for just, people to get there, right? So one thing that you'll see here with this graphic is where it is much more than just a stadium, right? There's so much more planned to go on here specifically. So this is going to be over 100 acres, right? And the area that this is in, let me pull that photo back up to show you guys what is going on here. So this whole area, right?
I'm sorry. I'm glad that they're doing this, brother, because you know what else is going to make it even more congested on Auraria campus exit is when they're done with the River Mile.
Yes. Oh, dude, 100%.
I mean, all the housings are, that they're adding, all the townhomes and condos that they're adding to that, all the entertainment and the amphitheater they're putting on that. Plus people that just want to do the River Mile. I mean, this whole thing not only is going to be better for commute, it's also like its own little thing just south of all of that new development. That is also a destination. So as you guys are looking at this, you're going to have the heart of downtown Denver and River Mile and Ball Arena and all these things as a destination to go to downtown. Then just south of that, you're going to have this destination that's going to be amazing to go to. And then just south of this, you've got Cherry Creek North, which is also its own destination. So it's really starting to come alive as far as like reasons to be in and around Denver as far as what you could be doing.
Well, and that is why this is so exciting to me, because this particular part of Denver, as you can see here, let me zoom in a little bit. It is so industrial, and honestly, it is just not a very good looking area. It is warehouses. It's rail yards, it's semi trucks, it's storage lots.
It is cool
just
for like street photos with my race cars, though.
totally, yeah, but very just underutilized, not very aesthetically pleasing. And in my opinion, this whole section, that's so much more than just a stadium, right? Not only are they bringing the stadium here, but they're going to be bringing, let me just read you the list here. Housing, so tons of condos, probably condos, townhomes, maybe some apartments, a bunch of retail, offices, and true to Colorado form, especially with this new Denver growth that we're seeing, these open public spaces where they're bringing, nature within these public communities, right? Where people can go and they can enjoy big, wide open, walkways and parks with their kiddos and stuff like that. So again, this is going to be so much more than just a stadium. This is going to be like a true Denver destination here. There's one more photo I want to bring over here for you guys. I'll move us out of the way here, but you can see as we zoom in, this is what it looks like right now, where like there's just nothing here but warehouses and storage facilities.
Oh, just go back up
Yep.
to that. So guys, I'm pretty sure even though you can see the mountains, you might think you're facing west. The mountains travel all the way down the entire state. So I feel like we're actually looking almost like, is this southwest, Eli, or is this directly west and that's the highway right in front of us?
I believe it's southwest, and this is where the highway like curves around. This looks like, if I'm not mistaken, this is I-25. I-25 looks
See the
like
white church is right there. Yeah, draw the red line at an angle and just keep going up to the right.
Here.
No, keep going up.
Oh, I see right there. Yep, like that, right?
Yeah, it kind of just
That is terrible looking.
If we just remove this entire line, that would be but zoom back in. But Eli, if you zoom back in, see that white building? That's that weird building you and I always make fun of.
I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
We don't make fun of it. It might be the Church of Scientology. We don't know. But guys, you're looking pretty much southwest in that photo. So the highway is kind of like running along the backside of that photo. So this would be like that southwest angle.
Yeah, and then here you guys can see we've got a light rail coming right to the stadium.
Get out of here. It literally goes right up under and inside. Dude,
they're most likely going to have a tunnel that goes under the stadium here. So this is going to be great. And then again, you can see this is so much more than just a stadium, guys, right? And like Colorado, Will knows better than me, but from what I can tell, it is very much a tailgate culture here. So even if you're not to the game, maybe you want to come and hang out with your friends, grab a bite, watch the game from one of these 1,000 bars that are going to be out here. This is just going to be a really, really cool thing. I think this one's going to be great. And here we did get a question from Mike Smith popping up here. He says, will Light Rail go to the new stadium? That is the plan. And what we were just seeing here.
On the spot, buddy. Mike, you are on it, buddy. You were literally asking that question. I think as Eli was saying it, man. You're like quick draw McGraw, man. You're on it. That's definitely the rumor that I've heard as well. You see a lot of official renderings that are showing that as well. Mm-hmm. And guys, Colorado, not to be biased, I know we're here, but Colorado is one of those states where it's still pretty friendly here, regardless of political views, regardless of where your kids go to school. Everybody's pretty chill. People say hi if you say hi. People open the doors for each other here. And the tailgating community is a lot of fun. And very rarely do you ever see like somebody wearing the other team's jersey where it becomes a problem and they're fighting a Bronco fan or something like you'd see in like Philadelphia or New York, where like it's just, I mean, the territories over there are wild. Tailgating here is a lot of fun. And believe it or not, a lot of folks end up that our clients that aren't necessarily football fans, they just enjoy the atmospherics of being able to go to the game and enjoy folks. So definitely something you're going to want to go to. And if we're having that light rail go right up under, Eli, I mean, just from a development standpoint, I'm not a developer, but if I were to put my development hat on, wherever that would be, I would venture to say part of the main reason why it's there is because of the tracks and what they can do with the light rail and how they can run it right up under and literally just increase the transportation in and out of the stadium.
Yeah. So we love it. We're excited. Now, moving on to the next one here, guys. We've got a new giant development happening up near DIA. Now, if any of you guys have ever been out to, the airport at all, if you've flown into Colorado, one of the things you're going to realize as soon as you land is that, man, there's like nothing out there, right? There's nothing but room to develop. And that's one thing that always makes Will and I chuckle is, once in a while we'll get a comment on our YouTube video from maybe someone that was, born and raised in Colorado. And they're like, Colorado's too full. Stop moving here. And we're like, have you ever been out near the airport? Because there's literally nothing but room to develop. And then, real big cities, like you'll go land at LAX and you're landing in between skyscrapers, right? You're in the city when you land out there. So Colorado does have a ton of room to grow. And there is one development out there currently that's an older one called Green Valley Ranch. And I'm going to pull that up here on a map so you guys know where that's at. But what we wanted to share with you guys today is that we have the what will be the largest Target in the country.
What's
opening up in Green Valley Ranch near DIA here. So
and it's needed. So guys, Eli, maybe we can pop this up. Do we have like a relocation guide available? Guys, this is our free. If we've got one, I'm pretty sure we've got it on our docket here for the lives. We've got our free relocation guide. This is free. It's mobile friendly. It's for you. It's 40 pages. It covers everything you need to know when it comes to relocating to Denver. But more specifically, it does cover a lot of the topics that we cover when it comes to like our major cities or our major like suburban areas in and around the Denver area. So if you guys are looking at a little bit more context from the past lives or the lives we're doing tonight to just understand where everything is at or what it would look like as far as commutes and travel times, et cetera, this is literally free. It's for you. Again, it's mobile friendly. Enjoy it. Use that. But, and a lot of the things that we're going to be adding to this relocation guide have to do with everything that's coming out east. It's been DIA and some houses for a long time. You've had a Walmart out there for a while, but that's more west, down I-70, and a lot of people are using that. So it's time that it gets more commercial. You've got plenty of housing that's out there. This is super exciting. Not only is it the biggest, and I can't wait to go see it. Because it's Target. We call it Target out here, right? Like it's going to be a lot of fun, but it's also just needed as far as like everything that they're building in and around Denver DIA.
Oh, completely. And again, it just goes to show, the future growth potential of Colorado. And, the other thing worth noting out here is that it is in the same area. So this particular part of the airport and Green Valley Ranch and things like that. There are so many other like big businesses out there. You've got Amazon out there. You've got a big Coca-Cola area out there. You have a lot of big like tech companies, not manufacturing, but distribution out there. So you already have so many people that are like tens of thousands of people that are going out there to work every day. And a lot of the reason that a lot of people haven't moved out there is because there's just not a whole lot of development. So this is one of those things
a great
where
friend of ours, Mandy, where does she live in that community?
Yeah, Painted Prairie. Yep, Painted Prairie.
Great community. It was just almost ahead of its time. Great like road homes, like they're awesome. Some of them have like the rooftop ceilings or the rooftop decks where you can sit and grill on top or whatever you do out there and watch the sunset. And it's awesome. It was just a little ahead of its time. I'm glad some of this commercial is catching up.
Oh, it is. And typically you'll see commercial go out somewhere or residences, and then the residences will bring more commercial. And with this, it's almost like you had these, huge warehouse jobs out there with tons of, workers, and there just wasn't anywhere for them to go. So they're kind of going about this in like a different way to where it's like, the need was out there because of these massive companies. There's room to develop. And now once you have this big, I would call this like an anchor development that's coming out here. Once you have that in there, that is then what is going to bring a lot of the additional value and growth because of how many homes are now coming out there. So I'll share with you guys.
So guys, we're going to be looking at some Google Earth or some websites that Eli's going to show you. Just to give you some context, this is literally directly east of downtown Denver, east on Highway I-70, right? So this is the one that goes opposite of I-25. And this is about, you're give or take about 30 minutes, maybe, depending on traffic. It could be even quicker, directly east from downtown Denver. And then you've got Denver International Airport right here, almost like to your upper center. And then just south of that, Eli, is what you're talking about with Green Valley Ranch and Target, where all these red dots are.
Yeah, so they're looking at coming in here. Let me see if I can find the exact location, because it is going to be up right next to our Sprouts that is here. Let me go ahead and pull this up here real quick. Here we go. So not only Yeah, so it's going to be right here. So this huge open area right here is where the world's largest Target is going to be. And what I love about this is right next to a Sprouts farmers market. So if you guys aren't familiar with Sprouts, that is like a I guess like a mini Whole Foods is a good way to put it. So this is going to be a real big deal for a lot of these folks out here because there are starting to become more and more like coffee shops, restaurants, things like that. There's a lot of hotels. You're starting to get a lot more homes out here and stuff. But man, this Target, the one thing that we're lacking here is just a big anchor point that is going to drive so much traffic. So what I would consider this almost the equivalent to is like the outlets down in Castle Rock. If you guys have been watching our channel for any amount of time, you know how big of fans we are of Castle Rock. You know how much we talk about the outlets, and the outlets there are this big anchor point that bring people from all over the state down to Castle Rock. I feel like this is now going to be the new anchor point for Green Valley Ranch, which is really just going to sprout so much new developments out in this area.
They did do some outlets up north on your way to like Loveland. Like I think they're just south of Loveland. Eli, you got some outlets up there. You've got a Buc-ee's up there, which is awesome. But it still didn't necessarily slow down all the people that were coming down south from Denver. I felt like everyone that's Denver and below that comes down to Castle Rock for the outlets, none of them chose to go north. For those outlets, they still preferred coming to Castle Rocks. It is a bigger site than the ones up north, but the ones up north are still nice. But I feel like an anchor point out east is going to be great, man. It's really going to break some things up.
Oh, it is. It is. And it's one of those things too, where, important, there's not a whole lot going on, right? So I want to show you guys this here real quick. So this will show you guys where we've got Sprouts down here. I think we might be covering it. Let me move us out of the way here. This is that corner. You've got the Sprouts Market right here. You've got the new Target right here. And then you can see all behind it are all these apartments and townhomes and condos right here. So, man, this whole area is just going to really blow up and bring a lot of eyes on this area, which I think is going to be only beneficial for more people.
You've got Aurora Public Schools not too far from this. You've got a great high school that was built. That's not too far. That's got a great stadium for football.
That's true.
A lot of really great things, man. Like this is definitely still directly south of the airport.
Yes. So they're saying here, this is going to be 2,000 rental units, which is super cool. 150-acre mixed-use development. They're calling it Link 56. Pretty cool name. Really cool. Let's see here. Now, Target is also going to be building another massive Target, not as big as this one, up in Firestone, Colorado, which is just a little bit further north, just a little bit north of those outlets that Will was just talking about, up just south of Loveland off of I-25. But if any of you guys are looking for any affordable types of homes and the appeal to being close to I-70, the appeal to being close to DIA, Denver International Airport, is important to you, man, you're going to want to focus on this, because I'm telling you, once that Target comes there, your property values are going to start going up.
Huge. And Eli, I'm not sure if we can Google Earth it, but can we show something where we're at? We can show DIA south all the way to Southlands Mall. Because something that's going to be really important for you guys is this whole corridor. So I'm talking about what I would call the 470 corridor. I live in Southeast Aurora in a place called South Shore. We've covered it a lot. And that's roughly like right just directly east of Southlands Mall. Now, as you work your way north from South Shore in Southlands Mall, if you end up in Murphy Creek, if you end up in the Aurora Highlands, I don't want to call it no man's land, but you're kind of in no man's land, because you go all the way northwest to Walmart off of I-70 and Tower, or do you travel south to Southlands Mall and to the King Supers and everything down here as far as like your shopping? Either way, you've got some commute there. So, Eli, I'm not sure if we can give a visual, but what I'm really trying to depict is literally anything south of the airport, you kind of got to go northwest. So if we rotate it back clockwise again.
All right.
Keep
clockwise
going.
This way?
Nope, other way. And stop right there. And just kind of put DIA more toward the top. Yeah, a little bit more. Right now, a little bit. That's a little bit too far. Can you go more aerial or no? That's not. Yeah, there we go. And then where is Southlands Mall from here? It's directly south.
Yep. So we got the airport right here.
Correct.
Here is 470 right here. So I got to turn it a little bit.
Yeah, let's just, yeah, that's okay.
There
But just stick,
we go.
so pretty much.
There's I-25. So Southlands has got to be right here,
No.
76.
That's
Oh, I'm
I-70,
going the
buddy.
wrong
You gotta
way,
go the
huh?
other way. Go down.
That's
Right
right.
there.
That's right.
Yeah. There you go.
Here's 470 coming down. Let me zoom out a little bit. All right, here's Southlands right here.
So, guys, this is like where I live out here by the water, and you've got Southlands Mall. But as you guys can tell, if you guys just imagine going from that body of water straight north, you've got plenty of housing community that's coming. You've got Murphy Creek that's out here. Yep. You've got Aurora Highlands. Is that what it's called, Eli? Aurora Highlands, which is just directly east, right off of 470. But you have to kind of either commute south to where I was at, or imagine on this, stay right there, Eli. So you got to go south to where like that body of water is and the mall is right there, guys. Or you've got to go to the upper left side of this map. Don't move it, Eli, but just to the upper left and more northwest to go to like Walmart and things that are more toward Montfellow and Green Valley Ranch. And it's not no man's land. You've got some little strip malls, but it's not like all the major shopping that you want. So, Eli, really quick, keeping this map where it is, if you can just maybe, I don't know if you can find it where like this big commercial stuff is going to be. Obviously, it's between Denver National Airport and Southlands, but it's really going to help everybody on the east side of 70 with their shop. It's going to be huge, man.
Right around here. It is. And again, we just need a landmark up there.
100%.
Right? Yeah,
you got 7-Elevens, you got more gas stations. Like you've got some great things coming because if you guys get on the 470 corridor from south where I live and you travel north and then you end up going northwest toward the airport, you kind of feel like you're on a highway, like you're over the road, like you're on a road trip. There's a couple gas stations on some exits, but not a lot of big shopping. So this is really going to change the game as far as everybody that's currently living there and everybody that will continue to live there. And you're exactly right, Eli. You put that Target as a flagship and everything else out there, the property values are going to continue to climb.
Completely. Now, I know we're going over, a bunch of areas. If you guys don't live here, maybe you're not super familiar with these areas. But if you are planning a move here, again, you know this from our videos, guys, we would love to jump on a Zoom call with you and help discuss your ultimate game plan for moving to Colorado. So there's a QR code on the screen right now. If you scan that, you can book a 30-minute Zoom call with us. And on that Zoom call, guys, we will go over, what's bringing you to Colorado. What are you looking for when you come out here? What are your basic wants and needs and the things that you're looking for? But then most importantly, and this is what ends up being just uber productive on these Zoom calls, is when we're able to discuss, hey, okay, what are you looking for? And then we'll pop open the map, kind of like we're doing right now, and then we'll be able to go through and show you some of the top neighborhoods that we recommend to you and why we recommend them. And then maybe there's some that are appealing to you and we'll go over some details on that, but then maybe there's some you haven't thought of. So if you scan that QR code, you can jump on our calendar, book a 30-minute Zoom call with us. We love hearing from you guys. Now, shameless plug there, moving right along.
Now, if you happen to decide you want to meet with Will instead of Eli, there's a couple brownie points and some home warranties in there.
There you go.
Might be not steering, maybe a little bit. Either way, it depends. It depends.
Sign crossing, I think that's called. If you're an agent watching this, you'll get that joke.
Could you imagine you trying to report me for sign crossing? Like they know we're together, buddy.
Right. I know. They're like, all right, you guys aren't getting over us on that one.
Side note, since we're on a live, shout out to Zero Sugar Mug. This stuff is literally amazing, bro.
There we go. Got to keep our channel alive through our sponsors. Now, if move it along, if you guys watched last week, we discussed the new plans they have for the 16th Street Mall, or 16th Street as we're now calling it. Now, that is just a small part of this Denver downtown revitalization. Now, if you guys are maybe living here, maybe you're familiar with Denver a bit, one thing you'll realize is that, there's a lot of companies, there's a lot of business that happens right downtown, but it's not necessarily one of those downtowns that you're living in and working in and playing in, right? We'll get a lot of people that move here from someplace like Chicago. And side note, if you're watching this right now, leave a comment below about where you're watching from. We always love hearing from where you guys are at. So throw it in the chat. But, we'll get clients from places like Chicago and, they're kind of, they're used to a downtown where they can go to work, They can go get their groceries. They can walk to their nice townhome with a little yard that's also in downtown. And that's just kind of hard to find in Colorado. There's a few places like Cherry Creek and a couple other places that come to mind. But our main downtown area is just not really like that. There's like restaurants and, corporate offices, but it's
Very
not someplace where a ton
destinational.
of people live.
Very
Very
in and out.
destinational. And that is a big 50-year plan now where Colorado wants to change that. Now, the good news is that, we saw a huge decline in downtown traffic during COVID times, as a lot of big cities did, right? Now, the good news is, right now in 2025, we're now probably 3 years out of COVID. They're back up to 96% of the foot traffic that they were seeing pre-pandemic, which I think is amazing.
Yeah.
And really what that's doing is that is giving us so much momentum now moving into the future that has just really brought a lot of optimism to downtown. And that's why they're putting together this new 50-year plan for downtown, which again is crazy that when they're thinking that far down the road.
Yeah.
What was that, Will? Sorry, buddy.
I said we'll be around.
We'll be around. We will. So a lot of this is going to be focused on, bringing pedestrians around. So what I love hearing about that is it's not just, hey, how can we make more room for businesses, right? But specifically it's, hey, how can we bring more people down here, right? And they specifically want to make this an area where you can come and just hang out and play. And then, of course, spend money, right? Because that's the whole point of them doing this program. But that means more parks, more, art exhibits, interactive art exhibits, more hangout spots, places where that you guys can go. And have you heard of this thing, Will, called what's it called? Like third space, I think it's called. And it's a term. It's probably like one of those.
I've heard of a third wheel. I was that for a long time.
So third space, it's probably like a generational term, right? Like we're all good at like coming up with these like cute little like names, but essentially first space is like where you live. Second space is where you work, but third space might be, the key to it is a place where you can hang out and not have to spend money, right? So like a good coffee shop. Coffee shops are trying to create themselves like third spaces. Ideally, they want you to spend money, but welcoming, come, hang out, work, meet some friends, open your laptop, do some emails. So a lot of those like third space concepts, they're trying to bring to downtown Denver. And really
it's nice, man. Eli, for example, you might want to go downtown before the game just to get ahead of traffic, but you got a little bit of work to do. And the weather's nice. We still haven't gotten snow. It's been great. It's been 65, 70 degrees outside.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You might want to hang out before a game or just whatever it may be, right, or before a concert. But I think, Eli, not to cut you off, it's very true. Even suburban areas in Colorado, especially the Denver metros, they keep trying to bring the outside in. They want you to have walkabilities. They want you to have the Colorado experience. So whether it's the neighborhoods you live in, all the way down to downtown, them still being consistent and just allowing everything to be congruent there is really awesome.
Oh, yeah. So let me do a quick screen share here with you guys. And if you guys are watching this, I'd love to hear in the chat if you guys are excited about this. If you're not excited about it, I would love to just hear your feedback. But here it says Denver plans to make downtown into nation's biggest play zone. Okay. So now again, this is just, I'm sure like their corporate, buzzwords, play zone, but it sounds cool. And that is like, again, the goal that they're going for. So let's see, like right here, let me just read a couple quotes here. So it says, from the public, many residents say downtown needs to offer safer, affordable, and focused. Downtown needs to be safer, affordable, and focused on play. During a long public comment period, city boosters from Visit Denver, registered neighborhood groups asked Castle Plans pass the plan.
Yeah. Now they've also changed some laws. I know there's been a lot of talk as far as like, people downtown or homeless downtown, or if it may be like, we're not really legally allowed as realtors to get into, talking about crime rates or certain things, because some of that can be subjective to what people think is high or not high. And we really have to be careful when we talk about that. But I will say that the past couple of years, a lot of people don't know. And I know there's clickbait out there. I know there's a lot of people that just want attention on their content with socials, but there have been some laws that have been passed and changed. And there has been a significant cleanup that's been happening in downtown Denver.
Yes. So let's go over just a couple of the points here. Now, again, this is important to note that we're talking like a 20 and 50-year plan, right? Now, not everything is going to take 20, 50 years, but they're talking about the completion. But as far as what's in the plan, here's just a few of the things. So really reworking a lot of the roads and transportation. Okay. So as we're bringing more people downtown, the first thing we have to do is make sure that the roads and transportation can accommodate it, right? So, like, for example, they're saying Broadway could become a two-way street with more room for trees, bicycles, and transit to downtown. Right
Now,
now,
in
Broadway is just
Denver's
one way.
defense, I know we think city workers and roads, wherever you're coming from, we've heard the stories. That'll be 50 years. Oh, fix a road, 50 years, easy.
Yeah.
I will say, in Denver's defense, even as they've been expanding in Colorado Springs and doing like the North Colorado Springs expansion, something Denver's done great at is they really have kept on top of the traffic and the highways and byways and in and outs of major cities and major areas. And even during rush hour traffic here, we still average 30 miles an hour or whatever it is, 27 or whatever it was for rush hour traffic. Like, they've done a great job commute wise, especially compared to other major cities across the country. So I do feel like they've stayed on top of this as we've grown the past 10 years. They've stayed on top of it even as we've built down toward the Springs. I trust that they're going to continue to stay on top of it for some of these expansions as well. So a lot of these things will happen sooner than later.
Another thing here worth noting is that parks can be built throughout downtown. Now, what I like about this is, we do have there's tons of parks per capita in Denver, but there are these big, big, big parks. What you don't have are like a lot of these master plan communities might have 3 or 5 little parks throughout the community itself. That's what they're looking at installing throughout downtown Denver, which I think would be really cool. Again, for kids and families and dogs and things like that. You don't need 2 giant lakes and a huge park, right? Sometimes you just need a little place to hang out, sit down, have a picnic, play with your dog.
Yeah, especially if you're going to have more livability in downtown Denver. I know it's more destinational for work or for events, primarily. Now, as you have more livability, you're going to want some of that infrastructure with the parks in there for just the casuals as well.
100%. So, guys, this is probably something that we're going to be talking about on almost a week by week basis.
Hair's back. If you guys haven't noticed, Eli's getting more hair the older he gets. It's amazing.
A little bit.
I used to shave my head out of support of Eli. And all of a sudden, he's got amazing hair, and I got to figure out how to get mine back. So my hair should be back by the time Denver's renovation.
That's right. Back. Shout out to my friends in Miami that helped me get my hair back. Right? Will shouting out his root beer. We'll shout out those guys down there. Now, one last thing we want to go into with you guys here. This is, a fairly new change in Colorado, and it's one of those just realities of a growing city, and really has nothing to do with a growing city. I take that back. Nothing to do with a growing city, but the reality of just, things changing across the country. I'll just be upfront with it about insurance. Okay. Yeah. So we have most recently seen a big change in our homeowners insurance here in Colorado. Now, one of the big things to note is that, we don't have a ton of big natural disasters out here. Like you will see in, California, some of their fires, Florida with some hurricanes and floods and things like that. However, and we'll touch on the things that you will see here in Colorado, but I think one of the biggest reasons that we are seeing our insurance rise so much is because these nationwide insurance companies do need to recoup and rebalance their books because of places like California and like Florida. But to give you guys a real number here is that on average, our homeowners insurance has risen about 76% from 2019 to 2024.
Yeah, now, and I will say that we're still and we're still not the most expensive in the country or anything like that. It's definitely got an increase. I feel like the one thing that's been a little bit delayed, Eli, you and I have been kind of talking about this for a little while. Yeah. And we were almost a little surprised when it hadn't jumped up when we thought it would. And I feel like as much as Colorado's on top of the infrastructure for transportation, what they didn't necessarily plan for is all the homes that got built, all the people that moved here, but premiums and rates were still the same thing. But these storms that come through as far as hail in certain areas that you live in, whether it's Douglas County, whatever it may be that you get hit. Well, it changes for insurance when you go from maybe, you having 100, files as far as insurance claims to 500. and it's in a condensed area, and there's just some growth there. And I feel like insurance companies might have been a little behind the curve, and then we see this knee-jerk reaction and this influx. And there's still great insurance. You definitely need somebody local. I know we've had some folks that had somebody they knew that was a non-local insurance person that were getting declined on things. Local guys that have great relationships with insurance companies, it's still getting done. It's still within your mortgage and all that good stuff. But
yes,
I'm a little surprised it took that long. And I know 70% increase sounds like a lot. Well, if I sell one home a year, and then the next year I sell 2 homes a year, I just increase 100%?
Mm-hmm.
But it's not a lot. So our insurance just wasn't very expensive to begin with. Our state tax isn't very, as far as like on your properties aren't as high as you thought they might be. And now it's starting to catch up with itself, but it's still affordable. It's definitely some heartburn. Obviously, as a homeowner myself, I don't care for seeing that stuff go up either, but definitely something that's just becoming more of a reality when you've got such a hot place to live. That's becoming more popular. That's got a lot of great things to offer that we just kind of have to see how that settles through.
Yeah. And it is just the reality, right? So we want to be upfront with you guys and let you know kind of what to expect out here. Mike again says, I'm in California and everything is expensive, right? So
Mike, listen, man, I know it sounds partial because I'm in Colorado, obviously, but we are not California or Florida when it comes to just trying to get something done. And man, you're in Florida right now. Like a lot of the word on the street there is like, you're just happy to get insurance. You're not even in a place where you can complain about the price. You're just happy that you get it in the first place, depending on certain areas that you are. So, definitely some things to consider. I feel like it took longer for it to happen than I thought it would. And then you see this drastic increase and it almost makes it sound like a bigger deal than it needs to be, but you're definitely still coverable. There's definitely some still great things about it, but you definitely want to be working with somebody that's professional, that's local. We've got some great recommendations for you guys. We don't have any affiliates with them.
Mm-hmm.
They just do a great job. And we refer all of our clients to them because they're local. This is the one thing that they do. They're not trying to do everything and have their hands in mortgage and insurance. This is what they do. They're subject matter experts. They're great with client relations. We don't make any money on it. They're literally just great with that client experience. So questions on that, we can also help. But Eli, I'm glad you're bringing this up. I know sometimes it's like people think, do we talk about some of the realities? And you're right, man, you do, right? Because people would rather just have some of this out there in addition to what to look forward to, just some of the realities of some costs. And then at least, hey, they know they're coming here, but let's have these predictables out there. Let's be able to plan for them and make sure that these guys are taken care of as they come to Colorado.
Well, and 2 things I want to touch on with this. So the average, after these hikes, the average homeowner's insurance for a single family home in Colorado, not a townhome, not a condo, is about $4,000 a year, which is about just a little over $300 per month, right? So Mike, I'd be curious if you happen to know what average is, in California. But we're looking at roughly on average, again, after these hikes, $4,000 per year. And this actually came up because just this year, mine was, I guess, a little delayed, but I saw my homeowner's insurance premium pop up this year. And I normally don't pay attention to it, but this year I did. And I was like, I called our insurance guy and I was like, hey man, what's going on with this? He's like, yep, here's what's going on. So he gave me the whole rundown. So the other part, I think, of this 70% increase, which is a lot, is like Will said, this appreciation with insurance. We're seeing that with our home assessments as well. So the other thing that happened within the past 3 years is all our properties got reassessed and all of those went up a lot, but honestly, those were kind of overdue as well. So, now I think again, with all these nationwide things that are happening with fires and floods and things like that, in conjunction with home prices just being more expensive, insurance companies are coming around and just raising things. Not trying to justify it, not trying to say it's right or anything, but it just is what it is. And I think this is why it is. Now,
well, Eli, just to what you're speaking to is like COVID, right? When you're saying like, hey, it's take a little bit longer for our home prices to kind of catch up and then kind of settle back down where they need to be. And then some people might think like, really, like even after COVID, didn't every state just have these astronomical jumps? And like, believe it or not, we had some homes go for 50 grand over asking, some go for 100 over asking.
Yeah.
But what we saw during COVID was our appraisal process, the appraisal economy there, in my opinion, they did a great job keeping a lid on appraisals. So if people were wanting to offer 150 over asking price, they were not appraising at that value. Some states were, not only were you getting offers significantly over asking, but appraisers were then allowing that as well.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't the case in Colorado. The majority of your over askings, that depending on the price point where it started, that were going over 50 or 75,000, they weren't appraising it, and you were having to bring that gap. And that was one way that I felt appraisers did a great job in Colorado, keeping a lid, keeping the reins on the economy here, and not letting it get overinflated. And there's a lot of great protection there. But that's why, hey, we didn't have all of that happen during COVID. People spent more money, but they weren't appraising. So that was just part of their appraisal gap. And then now you're starting to see homes increase and kind of grow into where they should be. But guys, it's just another thing to talk about when it comes to how does Colorado maintain its healthy economy? Well, this is one way, right? Like a lot of folks, they would love to just wrap in that over asking price offer into their mortgage, right? You're buying a house at $1 million, you offer 1.2. Of course, you'd like to throw that 200,000 into your mortgage. Colorado was just not really doing that, depending on where you were at in the demand for the home. And just because there was a lot of offers, they knew why there were a lot of offers, and it was inflated demand by low interest rates. And they weren't just handing out these appraisals, and Eli, curious about your opinion, but I feel like it did help protect just the overall health of Colorado's housing market as a whole, man.
Oh, 100%. And I was super curious to see, once we were coming out of that, like, hey, is this bubble gonna pop, right? Is this all artificial inflation? And, these past 3 years, we've seen home prices have dropped maybe 2%. Personally, I would like to see them drop more, right? But they're holding steady, which indicates that it wasn't a bubble, right? Now, the other aspect to that is, all those people that bought then, they have a 2.5% or 3% interest rate. So like, I'm not selling my house, right? Like, even if they are selling their house, they don't want to drop the price because they can afford the mortgage payment, even if they've already bought another house, right? Correct. So they'll let it sit there vacant until the market recovers, right? Now,
by the way, right, a lot of factors as far as like for a long time, even during the 2008 housing market crash, there's just a lot of things. If you look back at some case studies, Colorado as a whole compared to the rest of the country, it's done pretty well as far as like maintaining its housing economy and what it's done. And I'm sure a lot of these layers contribute to such.
Now, with all this talk about insurance, last thing I want to talk to you guys about is, what can you expect as far as our weather out here? What are the major concerns? We get a lot of people that jump on a Zoom call with us who will ask about fire dangers and things like that. And hey, if I buy in Littleton, do I have to worry about my house burning down at all? Right? Now, there are acts of God out there. I don't want to say every place, like nothing's going to happen ever, right? Anything can happen at any time to anyone. However, you're going to find our fires predominantly way deep into the mountains, right? Like either foothill brush, but typically those, because they're so accessible, are very quickly contained.
Yeah, you'll get some evergreen, Eli, depending on how deep in the evergreen you are. I think maybe a splash of golden, you'll kind of see some of
Boulder
that
mountains
as you start getting up toward Boulder County and deeper in, you'll get some of that.
So real mountain properties, guys, you will need some specific fire insurance. There are some specific things with insurance companies. You've got to have trees cleared a certain amount of way. You've got to have certain fire protection, like water mitigation in your house, right? So certain requirements there. But again, that's only if you're buying in the real mountains. For all of our other major suburban areas, nothing special that you need to do out there. There's no special fire insurance that you need to get. The thing that you will get out here is hail. And hail is the number one reason that insurance companies raised, at least that's what they're saying in Colorado, because that's the most common claim that you will get out here. Not for your car, but for your roof. Now, in my own personal opinion, that's one of the best things because I've had to replace 2 roofs. Well, I didn't have to. I replaced 2 roofs. And Max had to pay $1,000 because that's what my homeowner's deductible was. So a new roof for $1,000, not a bad deal. So in Colorado, you should never have to pay for a roof replacement out of pocket.
Correct. And there's a lot of great things as far as working with local guys, as far as like bundling your car insurance with the same place that's got your homeowner's insurance.
Oh, yeah.
Different rebates you can get. We've saved a lot of money ourselves as a family with just doing different things. And I'm telling you right now, we've lived it. We've been in real estate. I'm going on my 8-year anniversary, 9-year anniversary. It's 8. I can't count math for Marines. It's somewhere in there, a decade, we'll call it. We've had several thousand prior clients, guys. I promise you, the person helping you with your homeowner insurance, their relationship with different insurance companies, their own personal portfolio, and how many people that they've helped, like it does kind of go into some different benefits and who they're deciding to work with and not. And a big reason of like not using these out-of-state insurance folks is because a lot of your insurance companies are not looking for more market share. They're good. They're getting plenty. And then if they start helping out-of-state insurance agents it just makes it sticky, I guess. And definitely some things that you want to look into, but getting creative, taking that pause and really working with somebody that's really good at it to just understand, hey, now that we're making this move, could we bundle some things? Could we save some money? Hey, specifically, we definitely need hail and this, but could we cut back on this because we don't really need it? And just structuring your insurance policy. I think a lot of times, like life insurance, you chalk it up and it is what it is. Your homeowners insurance, you chalk it up and it is what it is. We got to get a little bit more intentional there because you probably could save yourself a couple $100, and those things do add up and they do matter.
Oh yeah. And that's one of those things that because your homeowner's insurance is paid out of your escrow, out of all the insurances, that's the most out of sight, out of mind. So they will try and increase it on you every year without you even noticing because it's just part of your mortgage payment. So if you have a good mortgage broker, a guy that's watching that every year for you, like us, mine went up, we got a call. Before him, I wasn't paying attention to it. So they will try and be sneaky with it. So keep an eye out for that. And then again, if you guys have any questions about your specific situation, where you should move to Colorado, what place is going to work best for you, call Will or scan the QR code. It's a lottery, 50-50 you get Will, 50-50 you get Eli, or both of us. But, 30 minutes, we love jumping into your guys' personal situation. And again, whether you're looking to buy a home tomorrow or 2 years from now, it's always great to get to meet our viewers here on YouTube and connect with you guys and help you out any way that we can. Yeah,
Mike said he's moving out here in June. Mike, if you're still on, blessed, man. I appreciate your time and being on here. And we'd absolutely love to help you. And
yeah.
Everyone wants to live 55 minutes from city center. Like, great point. Like, a lot of great comments tonight in this, as far as like just what everybody's got to say. And hey, you even got a living happy birthday from Boise.
Hey.
Like awesome. But guys, a lot of great comments, a lot of great interaction. Anything we can do to help. Obviously, we are licensed realtors here in Colorado. Yep. We absolutely love helping you just as much as we love making our regular videos every week, and then now introducing these lives. And it's been great so far. We've had some great interaction from you guys, and obviously all the best as far as like overall Colorado's development. And it's really hard to cover a lot of these things in the other destinational stuff that we do in our regular videos and highlighting different things and trying to cover as much as we can for folks that are moving. We help a lot of locals as well with their sells, and they're curious about where they're going or what our access to out-of-state agents look like, and we're helping them there. But these lives really just let us kind of sit down. We're sharing a zero sugar mug with us in the evening. We're in our homes. I'm sure you're in your homes. And we really just get to dive in and just go a mile deep on some really fun things that aren't always as easy to cover when we're looking at that. And then again, unfortunately, guys, there's no way to spend that 70% in 5 years. I get it. It could be construed as insanity. And we've been around. We've seen some things prior to that. It's heartburn for us too. I think what we're trying to do is just find the positives and everything that we can. Mike, good night to you as well, brother. But any questions or value we can bring you guys each week, whether it's on this and chatting the live, or whether it's, on a phone call, whatever it may be, and however we can help with some of these things. And again, we understand some of that insurance stuff. We're trying to find that silver lining as well. That's what we're here to do. We're here to help you guys. I think the biggest thing Eli and I recognized these past couple of years was people needed to move here. It was job commutes, it was family reasons, and it was like, wasn't really about the insurance or the this or the that. It was like, they're coming here regardless. So, man, we just try to find that silver lining and figure out where we can help them. But 100%, there's just some things like that are going to be heartburn, to say the least.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate the comment. Appreciate the transparency with how you feel.
Yeah. So, guys, every Tuesday, 6 o'clock Mountain Time, that's going to be 5 o'clock Pacific, 6, 7, 8 o'clock Eastern, right? Yeah.
2 hours ahead, right?
Yeah. 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. So we're here every Tuesday, guys. Appreciate you jumping on, and anything you guys need, where to reach us. We appreciate you watching, and we'll see you guys next week.
Yeah. It says, thanks for all the hard work. Appreciate the consistent content you got, man. I absolutely love folks that, tune in with us, man. Like, we can't thank you guys enough. I mean, this is how we support our family. So Everybody in here, man, we really appreciate your guys' time as well and taking your time.